Hey guys, how are you? How are you? Welcome back to the podcast. I took a small little break from recording this past week while I was processing some honestly really hard news that is not mine to share, but that does impact me and has to do with someone that I love very, very much. And I just wanted to come on here and remind you that you are never alone in anything that you are facing. And I think that the thing that keeps showing up for me is I am walking beside her while she processes this news and while I am processing it in my own way as someone who loves her so much. Is that this is the time, this is the moment that we realize that we do not have to walk anything alone, and that we get to lean on our village, and as I call hers, her army of people that love her so, so much while she navigates what lies ahead for her. And what I also wanted to come in here and talk about is how things like this deliver us instant perspective, immediate perspective on what actually matters in this life and how precious this life actually is. And what I keep coming back to is like, you guys know how passionate I am about this work, how passionate I am about helping other people get really fucking honest about who they are and what they want in this life, and then helping them bring it to life. This is what I do every single day. And I'm only available to teach it because I'm doing the work myself. And I am so passionate about it because I spend so much time with the version of me that waits at the end of my life. And I want so badly for all of us to have that version of us look back and go, you did it, no matter when it is, no matter how many years we have, because that's the thing is we get this one shot in this vessel on earth, and we don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know how many days we have left. And so I'm passionate about making sure that as many people that I can touch and say, like, so while you're here, let's fucking do the thing. Let's do the thing that's on your heart. Let's be the version of you that you were created to be when you were delivered into this life here on earth. And I find myself even more connected to it and more emotional about it than ever, that like my soul's purpose is to help lead other people on this path because I'm walking it, and I'm seeing what happens when we get really fucking honest and when we're willing to be our truest, most authentic self, and we're willing to do the work to peel back the layers to let her come out and unapologetically live here on this earth, because we get this one shot as this version of us. And I think that's the only thing we want when we get to the end of our lives, is to look back and go, I let it be true. I let her be good enough. I lived as the version of her that I was created to be. I showed up as her and walked as her, and I did what I came to do. And what I was thinking about as I was getting on here to record this is that I have started to write. And I wrote something that I'm going to read here, and this is part of something that I'm creating. And I had the thought like, no, just wait until it's ready to go. And then I'm like, no, because what if one person needs to hear this today so that they are reminded that it's never too late to start walking this path of authenticity. It's never too late to start showing up as the version of you that you were created to be, because you are a freaking miracle. Your life is a miracle, and you will feel like one, and your life will feel like one as soon as you start treating yourself and your life like they are a miracle, because they are. And when we are faced with news that could impact that could change the trajectory of our life, it is so important that we are reminded of the miracle that you are and of the miracle that your life is. And so I'm just going to read this to you, and I have no idea how this is going to come out. I actually haven't read it out loud before, but it was just on my heart to share this. And so I'm going to. Before we go anywhere else together, we start here with you, with the truth of who you are, with the part of you that has been waiting patiently, quietly, sometimes painfully, for you to remember. You are a miracle. And I don't mean this in a fluffy, inspirational quotes on Pinterest kind of way. I mean it literally. In the same way we talk about authenticity when it comes to art, documents, or objects of value, real, original, sourced from where it claims to come from, scientifically, statistically, energetically. The odds of you existing exactly as you are 1 in 400 trillion. Your body right now is performing millions of microscopic functions just to keep you alive while you read these words. 37 trillion cells in your body are working in harmony. Your heart beats 100,000 times every single day. Your brain has more neural connections than stars in the galaxy. And even to get here, over 300 million sperm were racing for one egg. You were the one that made it. This is not chance. It's not random. It's not a coincidence. That is origin, intention, and design. Your design. And beyond science, there's something even more profound that is at play here. You are one of one. There has never been another you, and there never will be again. Whether you call the source of life God, the universe, spirit, energy, or something you don't even have words for, the truth is the same. You were created intentionally, not as a duplicate, not as an afterthought. You are designed with a singular imprint, a specific essence, a particular way of seeing and being in the world that no one else carries. Out of all of the possible combinations, all the timelines, all the potential expressions of life, this version of you exists. Once, here, now. There is just one you. And that matters so much more than you've been taught to believe. Yet somewhere along the way, you forgot. Not consciously, not because you are weak or broken. You forgot because life layered itself on top of you. Expectations, responsibility, roles, careers, relationships, achievement, trauma, disappointment, comparison, fear, the shoulds, the noise, the pressure. And there's a very real reason that this happens. Your brain is wired survival before it's wired for truth. From the time you're little, your nervous system is scanning for safety. Safety means belonging, approval, not being rejected, not being alone. So you learned, often without realizing, to look outside of yourself for cues. Who should I be to be accepted? What version of me keeps me most safe? What do I need to do to belong here? Over time, that external orientation becomes familiar, comfortable. It is safer to follow rules than to trust your own knowing. Safer to adopt an identity than to risk being fully seen. Safer to outsource authority than to listen inward and possibly get it wrong. This isn't a flaw. It's biology. But what kept you safe once can quietly keep you small later. At some point, and this happens to almost everyone, the miracle of who you really are gets buried under who you think you have to be, who you were taught to be, who you were expected to be, who you became in order to belong, to survive, to succeed, to be chosen, to keep the peace, to make it all work, to receive love. You start living from the outside in. You follow the scripts. You check the boxes. You build the life that makes sense on paper. You do everything right. And then one day, often right in the middle of a life that looks fine, something inside you whispers. Something is missing. This can't be it. How did I get here? Who even am I anymore? That whisper is not a problem. It's a signal. Because here's the truth, most people never get brave enough to say out loud. You were once fully yourself. Before the world told you who to be, before you learned to contort yourself to fit expectations, before you softened your wants, quieted your voice, and questioned your worth, you knew exactly who you were. Your essence, your magic. It was all there. And it still is. You guys, so many people come into my world looking for clarity from this point. And so many of you come into my world saying, I really want you to help me bring my purpose to life, or help me build this business, or help me figure out what alignment actually is, how to create balance and alignment get interchanged, right? And what you're looking for is you, always. The path to a business that creates an incredible impact in the world and an abundant income is found by choosing you, by returning to you. The path to living in a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling and so good in your bones, it all comes back to you and who you're being. And who you're being always starts with what you believe about you. And so it's no wonder that so many people end up on the opposite side of this screen, the opposite side of this desk, going, what's happened? How did I get to this place where I feel so disconnected from myself? I was there too. That's what led me to all of this work. And the path to me creating a life and a business and a marriage and a family and a circle of friends and experiences that I'm fucking obsessed with all started with me returning to me. This business is what it is because of who I am. I get paid to be me. I get paid to exist in an extension of me and my purpose and what I am here to do. That's what has built this business. Not me checking other people's boxes. And the same is true for every area of my life. It all comes back to me. And man, if it doesn't take sometimes someone else's tragedy for us to realize that that's the point the whole time. That's the point of our time here on earth, is to find safety in who we were created to be and go live out what is meant for him or her. And so I just want to invite you to connect with this message. Maybe listen back to that passage again. Because you are a miracle. Your life is a miracle. And it will start feeling like one the minute you start treating it like one. The minute you start seeing what a miracle it actually is. And when you walk in that, the experiences that you have, the riches that you create that have very little to do with money and more about who you're doing this life with and the experiences that you're creating and the feelings that you are finding safety to exist in can be beyond your wildest dreams. And so let this be whatever reminder you might have needed today, that this life is precious, that it is a miracle, and so are you. And if I can help in any way, like I said, I don't think I've ever been so viscerally passionate about this message, so certain that the path to what so many of us are craving start with this connection back to you in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in all of it. It starts with you. You are a miracle. You are here with so much purpose and so much intention and just it with so much magic. You are the magic in your life. Let me be your reminder of that. Let me be your reminder of who you are. Because once you connect with that, what is possible for you and your life, no matter how long it gets to be, is limitless. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for all the love I've heard from so many of you. I am feeling your love and your prayers and your encouragement. I love you so, so much. And I'm so grateful that you are in my world. I am so grateful to be surrounded by such an incredible community that I get to pour into, and then I get to receive all of this love from all of you. What a freaking gift it is. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next episode.